Spoilers, yes, I know. In a sad, bleak, dystopian future stood one turtle amongst them all, the Last Ronin. Well, we're here to talk about one of the other turtles that didn't quite make it to the end of the story. We're talking about Leonardo from the Last Ronin series, made by NECA. Yes, this is Whatcha Figure. Welcome back to the channel. I am CountryBoy, and today we are talking about Leonardo from the Last Ronin series by NECA. And like I said, there were three turtles that didn't quite make it to the end of the story, and unfortunately, Leonardo is one of those turtles. But he did go out like a boss. He was a pretty badass moment. Actually, all of the turtles that went down, they went down fighting. They went down really cool. It's really sad, but it's really badass ways for them to go out. I appreciate what they did for this story. And unfortunately, yeah, he didn't make it to the end. Technically, none of them made it to the end. The very end of the story, all four turtles are dead. Spoilers, yes, I know. But that doesn't make him any less cool, honestly, because this is a cool looking figure. This is a cool character in that story. It was a really cool story. I definitely encourage you to read it if you haven't. If you like the Ninja Turtles, if you like Old Man Logan, you know, that kind of stuff, like dystopian, sad sort of futures, like what if sort of stories. That's kind of what this is. It's a what if sort of story, and there's going to be a movie and a video game based on this story, which is so cool. I really love that, and I'm really excited to see what they do with all the characters and how they portray everybody. But we're not here to talk about the movie. We're here to talk about Leonardo from The Last Ronin. So let's get to looking at the packaging. There we go. We have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin. As you can see, it is Leonardo. And that's some pretty cool looking artwork right there. Basically what he looked like in the comic book. He's got some tactical gear on, got a bunch of pockets. He's got his weapons. Looking really cool. Coming out of the flames, it looks like. That's awesome. Come to the side here. This is going to be an image that kind of ties into all the other boxes that come in this line as well, too. So you can see there's obviously Raphael's arm there. And then you got Donatello's bow staff right there. So looking really cool. And then on the back here, you got some images of the actual action figure himself here. And then a bit of a write-up for The Last Ronin in case you didn't know what the story was about. This will tell you right there. And then on the side here, the same image as you can see right there on the actual comic book, The Last Ronin. This is number 4, Leonardo. Then we'll go to the top. It says The Last Ronin. Warning, choking hazard, 14 and up. Make sure you are of age. Let's go to the bottom, take a look here, and you can see all the people responsible for this action figure. Give them the credit that they deserve. They did an awesome job as far as I can tell. But let's take a look inside. Right there, we got a nice big image of Leonardo, and inside you can see in the window box, there is Leonardo with all of his accessories. Nothing left to do but to get into the packaging. And out of the packaging, this is what we got. We got ourselves Leonardo and all of his gear. We'll start looking at some of his accessories, starting with these hands right here. So these hands, as you can see, there's they got the dark black line look like the Raphael has had and other figures in this line. So they kind of give you that cool comic booky look. But you know what? If you look, there's a little bit of paint over the line, so it could be a little bit better. This isn't the best one that they've done so far, but I do like the level of detail with the wraps and they got like the knuckle guards. It looks like, and the green. It looks really well done. And then these other hands as well too. So these ones are obviously going to be his gripping, holding hands for his swords. So you can have them in these hands, and it'll look good. Yeah, same level of detail. And then you got these last hands here. So this is his ninja point. That way, go that way, go that way. Whatever you want to do with these hands, or judo chop. That's what you can do with these as well too. That's what these hands are, and that's what they do. And you also got these kunai. So there are 5 of these kunai, and they are all the exact same looking. They look sharp. They look like they can do some damage. Something that Scorpion would use from Mortal Kombat. That's what he would attach a rope to and then go, get over here. That's what I always think of whenever I see these kunai. But yeah, it looks really good. They're silver, they're shiny. They look like they can do some damage. And then you've also got his 2 swords right over here. So you got his katanas, and they look like katanas do. They got the gray, you know, this, I wonder why they didn't go like with the actual silver for this as well too, because the kunai are definitely silver, very shiny. This is definitely more of a gray. It's like painted, like it looks definitely more comic booky, I would say. But I'm wondering why they didn't want to go with the realistic route, whereas the kunai did, and these are more comic booky. I guess just stylistic choices. But you got some yellows, you got some browns, and these definitely look like some katanas that Leonardo would use for sure. And then you've also got this spare head or extra head, and this is probably the head I'm going to use. I love having the gritting teeth, especially with Ninja Turtles. I love having that just extra bit of detail. I got the cool wrinkles in the brow, the black going along the bandana. Everything looks really well. It definitely, you look at this, you're obviously, yeah, that's definitely Leonardo. He looks serious. He's pissed off. He's mad. He wants to get those Foot Clan members, and that is what he's here for. Does this rotate? Let's take a look. I don't think this is not rotating. I don't think that this comes out or anything either. I know that for the Last Ronin, you could take out the back of the bandana. That way he would fit in his hood better and whatnot. But here it looks like it just stays in there, and that's fine. You don't really need to. Oh, it has a number 2 in there as well, too. I don't know if you can see that, but this is head number 2, I suppose. That's probably why they did that. I don't know if it was necessary to say number 2, but hey, it's got a number 2. And yeah, it looks good. I like the coloring. I like the teeth. I like everything on this. The whiting of the eyes, fantastic. It definitely looks like Leonardo does. And let's take a look at the actual action figure himself. And so you can see he's obviously got a bunch of gear on him. He's got pants on. When the heck do turtles wear pants? That's new. And he's also got like these rags that kind of flow around the back here. It looks pretty cool. It's definitely all plastic. There is no soft goods on this guy. Same with the Last Ronin. He was all hard plastic and not soft goods or anything. But it looks good. I like the level of detail. The colors, everything really works really well together. He does look like he did in the comic book. And that is all I wanted. I really wanted him to look like he looked in the comic book. Everything is really well done. A good level of detail. Like even on the pockets and stuff you get there, the black, dark lines. Everything just looks really well done. Got like the padding on the side there. He got these guards on his wrists. Everything just really well done. And I guess this would be like their Ninja Turtle symbol. I'm not too sure what their symbol is, but it's like a flower, like a 5-piece flower. I wonder if that stands for like the 4 turtles and a Splinter or something like that. I'm not too sure if that's what that is, but I remembered seeing that symbol, and it's kind of cool that they had that little level of detail on his guard as well too, his shoulder guard. But let's take a look at his articulation while we are here, starting with the head. The head isn't going to be too much because there is a lot of plastic around there. So go back about that far and side to side about that far. Twist, it can twist all the way around. So there you go, you got that movement. And then you got the arms go up about like that far. And they go around about all the way. Yeah, they can go all the way around. Even this guard doesn't get in the way. And you do have a bicep swivel there, so you can swivel that as well. And then you've also got double jointed elbows, so you can go in nice and far. And you've also got the wrist. You can go forward about that far, but back, it only goes about that far because he has that wrist guard as well too, but they can turn all the way around. And then you can move the body like that. So there is a swivel, a bit of a crunch. So there's some movement there, not a whole bunch. I mean, he is a turtle. He's got a big shell on his back and on his front, so he's not going to have a bunch of movement in the ab or anything like that. But the legs can go out about that far. This one goes out further than this one because he's got that padding on his hip there, so it does stop him from moving too far. But this one goes out far enough, and then they go forward like that, and then they go back like that. It looks like a guy who's really chubby with his outfit on, with his pants on. It looks like a chubby guy. That's what it looks like. It's kind of funny. And then the knees are double jointed knees like that. So there you go. You can move his knees like that. And then you do have some swivel at the knee as well too. And you got a bit of a swivel at the top as well too. Not a whole bunch, but you do get a little bit. This side might have a little more swivel because he doesn't have that hindrance. And then you got the feet can go like that, ballerina pose, boom, there you go. And then you can go up like that. So not bad, pretty good movement of the feet. And then you do got some ankle rocker as well too. So that's gonna do it for his articulation. He does have decent articulation, probably about the same as Raphael, I would say. So let's do some comparing with some other figures that I have in this line and kind of see how he fares. Stay tuned for that. Hey, I hope you're enjoying this episode. And if you are, please, if you wouldn't mind, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit the bell on the side there. Leave some comments down below as well. I am CountryBoy_9, but I'm also known as CountryBoyNiner. A whole bunch of different places, like right here on YouTube. I'm also on the TikTok and the Instagrams and the whole bunch of different places. Just look for me. You'll find me somewhere else, and I'm sure you'll appreciate it. But I'm also on another channel with my friends called Wasted Opinions. Go ahead and check us out. We have a blast talking about movies, TV shows, video games, comic books, music, what have you, and the like. We're talking about food even. We're talking about everything. Check us out. We have so much fun. But without further ado, let's get back to talking about Leonardo. Before I get to some comparisons, I just wanted to say that I love that they had all these little slots so I can put all these kunai all over him. That is great. I'm glad that I can have all of his weapons on him if I want to. And I didn't even mention that in the cape thing that he's wearing, he has these holes where you can actually slot his sword down into the back here. So that's awesome. I love that you can do that. So that's one thing that, if you know me, I love that you can fit all of his weapons on his person at any time. So that's awesome. I love that they did that. So let's do some comparisons while we are here. I got this guy right here who was fighting alongside him against a bunch of these guys. So we got Casey Jones and we got ourselves a Robot Foot Clan member, and that was a really cool moment. This was basically the last moments of Leonardo and Casey Jones. If you never read the book, that's what happens to them. They're fighting these guys, and then all of a sudden, these dudes kind of come in here, and boom, a whole big explosion happens and wipes them out. But let's do one more comparison while we are here. I gotta toss in Raphael, because he's basically the same size, same kind of level of detail. He's got the same type of gear sort of on as well too, and so I like that. He's maybe a little bit shorter because maybe he was a little younger, and as we all know, if you read the story, the Ninja Turtles are still mutating, and I guess they're still growing, which is why this guy is a little bit bigger than all of them. So it makes sense that they made this guy bigger. I still kind of wish he was the same size. I wish they were all, you know, the same exact height, but that's neither here nor there. They're just gonna be, I guess, going for accuracy. Those NECA guys, they love their accuracy, and you know what? I'm here for it. One thing I will say though about this guy, I like the Raphael a bit better, not because he's my boy, I love Raphael, but this guy, his paint was definitely flaking off a little bit. Like all the white kind of stuff, the painted stuff, it was flaking off on this guy. And so it wasn't as well done as I think this guy is. So that was my one little nitpick that I would give to this Leonardo. Otherwise, I think everything here is just fantastic. And I love these guys. Now, hopefully I can get my hands on a Donatello figure sometimes here in the future, because I've been looking, I cannot get them. The only ones we can get are those, like the Dark Watch versions of Donatello and Leonardo here in Canada. I don't know why they're making it so hard. NECA, I want just a regular Donatello, the one with the cool hat that he wears and the purple and the white. Awesome, I love the way he looks. Why can't we get those? Get them, send them up here in Canada. We want those things up here. That and Splinter and all of these figures. You're giving us these little nitpicky ones, the Dark Watch ones. Those are cool, but I still want the regular figures. Just give me those. Anyways, this Leonardo was awesome. I think it's gonna fit in really well with the rest of my figures from the Last Ronin series. Looking forward to getting more. But that is gonna do it for this episode. I am CountryBoy, and I put the sass in Sarsaparilla. But as always, be sure to let me know what you figure. Hey, we might be done with Leonardo, but that doesn't mean that we're done with you. Go ahead and check some of my other videos on this channel. I got a whole bunch of other stuff for you, like a lot of Ninja Turtle stuff. There's a lot of that stuff, and I love it. There's so much good things. You will not be disappointed. But hey, if you don't want Ninja Turtles, there's a bunch of other stuff you can check out as well too. You just never know what might tickle your fancy.